Welcome to Discovering 615, the podcast celebrating the people, places, and stories that make Middle Tennessee amazing. From local business owners and entrepreneurs to musicians, creators, and community leaders across the Nashville and Middle Tennessee area, we're shining a light on the heartbeat of our community. And now here's your host, Rob Thacker. Thack Attack 615.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Discovering 615. I'm your host, Rob Thacker, and I'm joined today with Dr. Paul Hodgson of New Wave Stress and Pain Relief here in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for inviting me and coming out to our spot. It's awesome.
Yeah, this is an amazing facility you guys have got set up here. I'm looking forward to finding out what you all have to offer.
Yeah, we're proud of
people and everything. But tell us a little bit about your background, because I think you and I have talked before, but you're not native to Nashville. So tell us a little bit how you got here.
We're some of those California transplants that that you see everywhere. It's hard to find a native Nashville anymore, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm from Maryland originally and moved from Mississippi 15 years ago here. So yeah.
Yeah. So we moved towards the end of COVID here. We were just kind of done with California and ready to move back to America. So So that was kind of that was kind of what brought us here. And we had literally never visited Nashville. I flew out here to check out Gallatin one time before we got here. We were just kind of like hunting online for real estate, looking at different things that different places in the country had to offer. And, cool city, music city with a lake. So the lake was kind of our draw, and the city, and just everything that Tennessee has to offer. So
well, I think Newsweek, it was Newsweek a couple months ago, 2025, 2026 said Hendersonville is the number one city to move to in Tennessee, and it's because of the lake, the city by the lake. So here we go.
We had to give up the ocean, but at least we could get a lake.
That's right. That's right. Well, no sharks. You have to worry about jellyfish or sharks.
Definitely. So. Yeah, that's a plus.
Just other things, maybe. Other creepy crawlies. So.
Exactly. Big bass.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So tell me, as I was talking or looking some information on you, you started your healing center though in Peru. Is that right?
I did. Yeah. Right out of school, I went down to Peru. I actually didn't even walk across the stage. I wrapped up in clinic, and then within a week of checking out of the clinic at our school, kind of finishing your internship there, I was on a plane down to Peru. My business partners had graduated 3 months before me, and they had kind of been hunting out a spot for us to go to. So I got down there, and the day I showed up was the day the clinic opened. So
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they did a lot of the legwork, and then I was intending to be down there for about 5 years. And about a year into that, I realized I missed my sweetheart at the time, and I had to come back and chase her. So
Gotcha.
So but that was a really fun experience. What we were looking to get out of that was I was really dissuaded by the things we were learning in the last year at chiropractic school. The first couple of years, it was like I was at Hogwarts. I was like, this is the coolest. Like, oh my gosh, I thought I was just there to fix neck pain and back pain. And then I was learning all the different things that are controlled by the nervous system, the body's ability to heal itself. And then in the last couple of years, it's about cover your ass, cover your butt. CYA. Insurance, how to not get sued, how to limit your liability, it was just a lot of tedious, check the box, boring stuff, I felt like. And it took a lot of the fun out of the first couple of years. So what I wanted to do was practice in a place where we didn't have to worry about insurance and, those kind of things. And so we got to run what we call a cash practice down there, which is where people pay you directly for services. You have to bring them value every time or they don't come in and they don't pay anymore. So, and we got to work with a lot of the just really, I would say, big problems down there, really fast, so that was fun. And then when we came back, Well, I came back to she's my wife now, but
Glad you called her.
yeah. But I came back and she was like, "No, I told you we're done." So I kind of said, "Oh shoot, I just closed up the clinic and uh, this isn't how it works in rom-coms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You're supposed to like this was a grand gesture. It's
yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
go
yeah,
over
yeah,
well."
yeah, yeah.
So so I had to kind of rethink what my plan was, and I took a job for my business coach down in San Diego, and he ran a big chiropractic clinic down there, and got to work with him for a year. Eventually, I was able to talk her into giving me another chance. So
Okay, good.
yeah,
So the typical Hallmark movie type.
kind of yeah.
Yeah.
There was a little drama in the middle,
Little
and
drama. Yeah, there you go.
but it worked out good. So.
That's good. So what got you, so you got into chiropractic. What was it that drew you to this type of practice?
Yeah, well, the type of practice we have built here is actually quite different than the one we had in San Diego.
Okay.
So, San Diego practice was what I would call more of a moderate volume, probably more what people would think about with a chiropractic office.
Right.
You would come in with different aches and pains and complaints, and we would analyze your structure and usually prescribe a plan to get you back to level. We had some of the technologies that we have here, but we were still, I would say, very structural focused. And then here, when we moved here, what I was looking at doing is kind of creating something that didn't exist in the ecosystem here.
Okay.
So we looked at the different technologies offered in different offices. We looked at the different techniques being done, and we saw kind of a hole in what was happening here in Nashville. And it's a big piece of that has been what we call the neuro-emotional technique.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so neuro-emotional technique is let's call it a mind-body technique for finding and correcting unresolved stress or unresolved trauma that's stored within the body. So many times patients come in with pain and things could be misaligned, but there could also be other components to that.
Okay.
There could be chemistry involved with that's getting in the way of that healing. And that might be you need a supplement, or we need to get some toxin out of the body for you to heal faster. And then a lot of times there's also emotions involved with this. So the emotions are the thing that not a lot of people are equipped to deal with. A lot of times when we're working on the body, these emotions come out. Most body workers will tell you, oh yeah, that happens all the time. Someone will break down crying on the table or have these big emotional releases.
Okay.
But it's not always done just because we opened it up. So the NET helps us find that in a really efficient way, correct it, and usually bring it to a state of resolution, or like we're done with it. So,
Okay.
and why the patient loves it is because then the pain goes away. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. So we end up doing a lot of that work in here, in addition to what I would say good old fashioned chiropractic work, and then the technique and the NET that we do has led us into also a lot of cranial work and airway work as well. So, so we like to think about ourselves as like the place for tricky patients, the place where the things that should have worked, they helped, but they didn't get you all the way there, or they didn't work when they worked on everyone else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now you also have a thing I think we talked about. We visited one time before, the home run formula. Explain that a little bit, because that was fascinating as well.
So if you just visualize a baseball diamond, the idea here is this is a conceptual way I like to teach the patients, and also I think about it when I'm working on a patient, of the different things that could be involved with any given problem. So any given problem could have multiple contributing factors. So we would put home plate or fourth base would be structure. First base is mental emotional. Second base is toxicity. Third base is deficiency. So we kind of have a system of checking, and we can check that relative to any body problem or any problem going on that we can touch in the body. We can kind of ask the body these questions if those are involved.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Totally different, and that's very different. More of a new concept then that we see, or
Well, I mean, it's not my concept. That comes from Dr. Walker, who
okay,
put the Neuro-Emotional Technique together,
okay,
and that also is kind of he brought it into like a four base model. It was originally, like, we call it the triune of health, and there was three, which is toxicity deficient, or chemistry, mental, emotional, and structure.
hmm,
So we had the three prong model, or a triangle, and we kind of made it into a baseball diamond by dividing chemistry into too much of something or too little of
gotcha,
something. So
gotcha. That's fascinating.
yeah.
So when your clients come in here, I mean, what is your goal? What are and two, along with the lines, what are some of the challenges and successes that you have faced with your clients as well? I mean, what do you hope for your clients to
Right. Well,
have
s-
experience, and then what are some of the challenges and successes too?
I would say, like, when we first opened up, sometimes it's just someone reading our Google reviews, or and walking in, or because we're close, they stumble into the door and they think it's kind of a regular chiropractic office. And so I would say some of the challenges we would run into is identifying an emotional component. But we might have, Billy Bob down the road who he bucks hay for a living, and
Yeah,
and he just wants you to fix his knee, and you tell him, there's an emotion here, Billy Bob, and he says, "What's that?"
yeah,
So, kind of sometimes getting the patient to buy in, and sometimes we won't deal with it if the patient doesn't want to. We got to be open to dealing
hmm,
with these things. So I would say that's probably been the biggest challenge. Now what's happened is we're mostly referral based now, and so most of the people coming in are seeking it out, and they're kind of
interesting.
expecting that work and hoping for that work. They've done some work looking at us online or in other
Hmm.
stuff. So that's kind of been, I would say, the what's made my job easier is that we're more attracting the people that want the work, or
Right.
need the work now. So.
So is that bringing for you guys then people not just in Middle Tennessee, but from all over as well?
Yeah, we've had people come up from Mobile, Alabama. We just had a person in from New York recently.
Wow.
Just had a phone consultation from a person in Utah. Where else? Pulling a lot from, like, Memphis area, in the
Hmm.
kind of the farms north of Memphis. Had a woman drive out from Knoxville recently.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so they're coming to get this work from. They're some of these people are traveling a good distance. They're kind of, it's almost like a medical vacation kind of thing to
Hmm.
come get this work done.
Well, then also too, you guys have got some interesting, because I remember we walked through the facility. The technology here is. I was talking to my wife about some of the stuff, and she's like, "I need to check this place out. Maybe I need to talk to
Yeah.
them." You know, and
Yeah, that kind of went along with the when we were designing this clinic. I said we had a little more budget than the first time that we opened up. First time we opened up, we bought our X-ray unit about 14 hours away. We got it for
hmm.
$1 from a guy who was closing his clinic. um,
Yeah.
and it was the X-ray unit was just a couple years younger than me. So, and over time we worked our way. We upgraded to better and better technology, but we put our first practice in San Diego together on a shoestring budget. This one we had some budget, so I wanted to get every toy that I've always wanted to help patients with, and we did that. So yeah, we've got PEMF. We've got a really, I think, the number one PEMF on the market.
And what is PEMF then?
PEMF is a pulse, pulsed electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay.
So basically, it's a big pulsing magnet. Very, very powerful. You can feel it pulsing in your body wherever we put it, especially on kind of sick or damaged tissue.
Okay.
Uh, so a lot of the technology we have is designed to get the body to heal faster by
Mm.
dialing in the mitochondria. So the body's designed to heal itself.
Hmm.
That's kind of where we start with everyone. And so if someone's in my office with a problem and it's been going on for a while, we're assuming something, their body's still trying to heal itself, but something's in the way of that happening.
Mm.
So frequently it's that they just don't have enough power.
Okay.
So the power producing part of the cell is called the mitochondria, and if we can get enough power to the person, we don't have to be that good of a doctor. The body's going to fix itself.
Gotcha.
So I always prefer to have the body do the work,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just get to look good. So
there you go. And I hear a lot about what you're talking about, the mitochondria. I mean, that deals with, does that deal with a lot of the gut health, or what does that deal with? Because you hear it sometimes.
It's
a lot
everything.
Of people, okay, gotcha.
It's literally everything. It's cancer. It's degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia.
Mm-hmm.
It's heart disease. It's aging. It's arthritis. It's literally everything that we would associate with the decline as we age
Mm-hmm.
is based on your mitochondria getting more and more dysfunctional.
Okay.
So the cell can't keep up with its workload. You can still heal your knee, but it just takes a whole lot longer when you get older compared to if you're, a 16-year-old heals a lot faster than a 60-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we can make your cells heal faster, we can get you healing like a 16-year-old again for a period of time. We can potentially do something that we couldn't do before just because of your age, or that it would just take a long, long time. So along those lines, we also have several different lasers in the office. Lasers and light therapy are a fantastic way to influence the mitochondria and get them basically working again. There are many different things that you can do. Some of them are free. Some of them cost money. We like to kind of coach patients. Some of them are comfortable. Some of them are uncomfortable.
Okay.
So, and then along the lines, what other technology? We have a shockwave, which is just a tremendous tool for rehabbing soft tissues. It's unlike anything I've ever worked with. I bought one because a friend of mine, Dr. Sean Drake in Arizona, I was helping him, kind of consulting in his clinic, and he took me through as a patient, and I was having this nagging kind of rotator cuff shoulder thing, and he just does awesome, tremendous work. He's also a tech nut. He's got all the latest gadgets, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to shockwave that." And I was such a baby. It hurt so bad getting the treatment. But in about 3 minutes, I had zero pain in my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
And it never came back. I was like, this is bananas.
And you're hearing a lot about shockwave therapy nowadays. I mean, it's out there in almost everything.
Yeah, shockwave is taking, the orthopedic industry by storm, because we're getting stem cell activation in there. We're getting angiogenesis, which is like growing of new blood vessels into tissues.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the reasons why tissues don't heal fast is if they have poor blood supplies too. So some of your cartilage and joints and things like that are slow healing, but we shockwave them, and then now they're rapidly healing.
Wow.
So we also have spinal decompression. We have the #1 table in the world. There's one other, I think actually there might be 2 others of these tables in Nashville. But this has a 90% success rate with herniated, like surgical patients, herniated disc, bulging discs, those kind of things. So, and we can usually do it faster, cheaper, and without surgery and all the risks that come with back surgery. So, we've also got QI5, which is a form of biofeedback. We call it the allergy machine.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. That was amazing.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother kind of branch that we're into. And we usually have a lot of times we don't even get to that technology with a patient. We can fix things through some dietary guidance, a few of the kind of interesting things we do with the NET technique or the sacro-occipital technique. But if those aren't enough, then we move you on to the allergy machine.
Gotcha.
And it tests you for about 10,000. It's a frequency machine. So, it tests you for about 10,000 different allergens, noxious substances, and sees how your body responds just to the frequency of the thing. If your body freaks out, it gives you a homeopathic frequency. It has all the known homeopathics in it as well, and it'll match you to the right remedy or antidote for that problem. Get your body to stop freaking out around that particular substance.
Gotcha.
So And yeah, so we've really invested heavily in technology in the office as well.
It's amazing. That's amazing. So where and okay, so here's where we kind of get interesting without getting, as we jokingly say, without getting blocked. In terms of just where do you see the, or maybe ask it this way, where do you see the chiropractic field going in terms, if you look down the timeline, especially when we have had so much um, interesting disagreements in the medical field, if I'll put it that way, and
Yeah.
with things that have happened, and it's just one of those things where it's to me it's interesting because you're hearing it on podcast all the time,
Yeah.
and I'd be interested to get your take on some of
Well,
that.
so chiropractors, we've kind of always been the redheaded stepchild of the medical industry. Sorry if you're redheaded. I know. I know there's a lot of redheaded people here in Tennessee. So what I mean by that is we haven't played well with others. We haven't been highly accepted. That being said, there's reasons for that. We've fought a lawsuit all the way up to the Supreme Court that we won, and where we were being discriminated against by the AMA, and they were kind of basically trying to kill the chiropractic profession. They failed to do it. We're kind of like cockroaches. We're tough. We don't we don't die easily. But so now that we've had this, what I call the great debacle, of COVID and all of that, chiropractors, basically people trust the medical system so much less, and that has opened a door for people to hear our message. We're saying the same message that we've always been saying, but now people are listening. So I'm hopeful that people can start to kind of understand the chiropractor's message a little bit more and are more open to it, and that we can use that to influence policy at a higher level. I don't know if I'm optimistic about it long term. I think we've got big time problems in medicine. We got big time problems in the chiropractic profession. We've got big time problems in the country, so it goes deeper than just chiropractic, or even deeper than just medicine. I think it goes to the funding of the universities and the research and the cost of education and all kinds of things.
Well, and then we're also fighting what I think someone, not me, but I think it was someone once stated that we talk about a healthcare system, but it's a sick care system because of all the food and the process of our processed foods are just it's insane what we allow in our food versus what Ireland or Italy or Greece allow in their food.
Yeah, we've got a food production system that's built around pesticide companies, chemically trying to get more out of the land. I'm not against fertilizer and things like that, but I think we've taken too much from the land, and we've got to figure out how to give back to the land and get back to the land. That's kind of my belief system.
I think I've heard people talk about need to explore, but regenerative farming.
Yeah, I think that is the future. Pretty cool, like that they're kind of talking about that in the farm bill right now. There was just some news that came out where they were able to get a clause out that was going to give kind of blanket immunity to basically Monsanto and the glyphosate people, and blanket immunity is not a good thing for anyone.
No.
Your product should, it should stand on its merits, and it should be held accountable if it causes harm. And so I'm really hopeful for that. But yeah, regenerative agriculture is the future. Animal-based nutrition. The animals regenerate the land, and they can nourish the people too. So that does give me some hope. We've got issues with the meat packers. Like family farmers can't sell steaks directly to you and me. They got to sell us a share of their cow. They've got to package it way down the way with one of the big five packers. They take a big cut. and then their meat can't compete with the price of the
Right.
industrial agriculture guys. So
Yeah.
so if we could get a free market with basically meat production, that would be insanely huge. That would fix so many of the things that we're spending down the road with chronic illness and chronic disease. If we fed the people healthy food,
Yeah.
that would just change everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So how has the community here in Hendersonville, how has the community received you all? And how do you engage locally and give back? I mean,
The community has been exceptional. The people here are really salt of the earth. It's been incredible to when we moved here, we just noticed like, wow, like people are so nice, like, but they're genuine.
yeah.
And not that they're not nice in California. Okay, I got a lot of love for people in California, and there's a lot of great people there. But there is a genuine a sincerity here to the people that is so refreshing. Like they genuinely care about you.
Yeah.
They'll ask you how are you doing, but then they really want to know.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
it wasn't just a pleasantry. It was like, no, well, tell me more. Like, okay, tell me what you're struggling with.
Yeah.
And so that has been so refreshing. So we were a little worried on how we might be received. We're from California, but don't judge us. I had a man bun when we moved here.
Yeah.
And but people have been very, very receptive to it, very open to it for the most part. I think that they recognize, wow, this is something that can really benefit our community and us. How do we give back? That's a great question. Kind of put me on the spot. I don't know. We we donate to a few causes and things like that. One of my mentors says, we need your time or your treasure. Time, talent, or treasure. That's kind of what he said. And right now, got not so much time, so it's easier for me to sometimes donate treasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I like to align with different organizations. That one of the organizations that we have worked with a bit is the Next Door. It's a women's recovery center out of Nashville. They're doing fantastic work.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite local places to give back.
There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you also, I know you have a book.
Do, yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. I mean, who's the book for, and what do you hope people? What's the takeaway you hope people have?
Yeah, the book was it was written in our old practice to cover a lot of the things that I was constantly trying to get into my patient's head, but I just didn't have enough time scheduled, and I didn't have a way to monetize that time with the patient.
Right.
But I really needed them to get that information. So the mitochondrial health piece, the importance of sleep and the nuances of sleep, nutrition, a little bit about the chiropractic story, and kind of where that came from, a little bit about my story and how I got involved with all this stuff. So the book is for patients, and it's for people trying to understand all the different pieces that go into the health puzzle outside of the chiropractic adjustment.
What's the name of the book?
The Power to Heal.
Okay. The Power to Heal.
Yeah, if you go to our website, it'll probably pop up at you and offer you a free copy if you give us your information or whatever, or you can buy it on Amazon and that kind of stuff too.
Awesome.
Kindle. So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Any future plans that you guys have in terms of with New Wave, stress and pain relief? Anything that you see coming down the road that you're able to tell us about? Projects, expansions, initiatives to be watching for?
We're writing another book right now that's going to be based on elimination spectrum diets. So kind of cutting things out in systematic ways to achieve certain health results. Then there's a plan to rewrite the first book, just updating it a little bit with the latest science. That probably by the time that gets released, that book will be 10 years old.
Yeah.
I think we're 6 years into that book or something. So, and science just changing fast right now.
Yeah.
So there's already some things in there that I'm like, wow, there's a paper that just came out that showed I was wrong on that. Okay. It was right when I wrote it, but but it's wrong now. So So a couple things need to be updated in that.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the big idea for us is we want to get a lot of the information that's in that book and that we still haven't got written down anywhere in an online content format.
Okay.
So we're thinking this is going to be like it might be a pay-per-view, it might be a membership type model, but we're going to get more and more of these concepts and content online. And then we'd like people to be able to access it for a lot less than a doctor's visit cost you.
Gotcha.
So medicine has just gotten so expensive, and it's gotten so, all the good doctors aren't covered by insurance, and all the,
yeah,
or not all the good doctors, but just a lot of the different treatments that my family uses and that we like to go get. It seems like none of it's ever covered by insurance,
right.
And it's all fairly expensive, especially when you start stacking doctors and adding it up. And so we're trying to get the information out, the part of, so that the doctor can just really focus on treatment. We can have a more educated patient coming into the office, more efficient visits, that kind of thing. So, but we start by getting the information into the patient up here, which can be done at their own pace online if we set up the platforms right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's great. That's awesome. What about for someone who's looking to get in the chiropractic field? What advice would you give to them if they're thinking about, hey, I think, and then along that lines too, in terms of leadership, how do you see your role as a leader, not just advising those looking at, but for the next group, the next generation coming? What are you doing in terms of trying to improve that area as well? Whether it's mentorship, speaking, or whatever.
Yeah, we've definitely we have done a lot of mentoring in the past where we've brought in interns and what we call preceptors. So these are people that are kind of done or mostly done with their chiropractic education, and they're just needing some experience in a clinic or that kind of thing. The way I would be open to doing that again, but we're still kind of evolving our systems right now. And so the right now, what I would tell someone is go get into a chiropractic office and just follow the chiropractor around and do this for 10 or 20 offices, and do this for, the professions that are right next to the chiropractor too, the physical therapist, the traditional Chinese medicine, the acupuncturist, go into the integrative nurse practitioner, those kind of things. These are all part of an ecosystem that's kind of growing and developing, and see the pros and the cons. Ask them what they struggle with. Ask them what they're stoked about in their job. But because if you go into 10 different chiropractor offices, you're going to get 10 completely different experiences. That's both good and bad. It's hard for the consumer who wants it just like the guy that they had in California and they can't find it here in Hendersonville. But it's good because there's so much variety, and if you didn't find somebody that helped you, it doesn't mean that we should throw the whole method out. We should maybe just look for a different practitioner of that method. Gotcha. So, yeah, I'm hopeful, and I'm cautiously optimistic. That we can turn this whole medicine thing, and maybe our kids could have a healthier world to live in.
Absolutely.
than we have right now.
Absolutely. Well, where can people find you, follow you, and of course, most importantly, come and see you?
Yeah, so we're in Hendersonville, right over by the library. You can find most of the stuff about our practice at stressandpainrelief.clinic. You can follow us on Instagram at, I think we're Stress and Pain Relief, and then that platform that we're trying to build is Uncommon Sense. And I think that we have an Instagram handle we're trying to get going on there too. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Paul, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Folks, that's a wrap. So let's make sure you share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch or listen. And as always, find your place, find your people. Discovering 615. God bless. See ya.